So when you do your practice, there's generally 4 kinds of mistakes that you'll see yourself doing. You may not get to a question just because you have a time issue, so that's one mistake. The next type of mistake that you may find yourself making is a question comprehension mistake. You'll see that some questions are kind of worded in a confusing way. Next is a procedural or a content issue, which is essentially you just didn't know what the answer was. And lastly is careless kind of error, which I'm sure everybody's made at some point. So with that, we're going to jump into a little bit of a math review based on what you guys chose from the forum. So the first type of question that you guys said you wanted to go over were probability questions, which are probably some of the tougher questions on the test, just because a lot of people don't really cover statistics. And essentially completing the square applies to quadratic equations and essentially how you want to get something into a standard form. And then next we'll talk a little bit about coordinate geometry, which is essentially just geometry that's done on the coordinate plane and expressed kind of as functions and in these equations. We'll start by talking a little bit about lines. Then next we have the quadratics. I'll go over the standard and vertex forms because the intercept form very rarely comes up on SAT, if at all. That is it for our math review. We still have about 15 minutes left in the session, so I wanted to leave this time just for everybody to ask any questions about any kind of reading or writing sections if you guys had any questions.